Hi, my name is Charles Gazowski. I work at Oakland University in the Career and Life Design Center, and in my role, I'm a systems and data analyst. And one of part of my job is to gather post-graduation outcomes from OU grads, and so I ask them lots of questions in our first destination survey, and then we report on that both on the Oakland University's Career and Life Design Center website. And then I also have internal dashboards that we use for key stakeholders across campus. And and historically, the things that we've always reported on were like big themes, like career outcome, like the percentage of students that are employed continuing education, joining the military within 1 year of graduation. Other things that we've reported on, or we always report on, is experiential learning. So, like the percentage of students that we gather data from that have completed some type of experiential learning, including like internships, co-ops, field experience, service learning, clinicals, and research and other related things. Other things that we also collect, salary data and we also collect kind of like our internship wages, where are students working when they graduate, where are they doing their internships at, if they're continuing education, where are they going? Um, those are just a couple of the questions and data points that I report on every year. Uh, but it's all kind of like kind of static, and so we talk, and there's been plenty of written about how important internships were, and so like what I wanted to do in this project is to actually test that, and so I feel like I learned enough skills this semester to try it out at least. And so that's why what I did, I kind of turned some of what I do in my FTS dashboards into something a little more complex. And I reported on a couple of things that historically I haven't reported on. Because I was kind of interested in how they're related to career outcomes when it comes to internships. So, what is the impact of internships on career outcomes if you are an underrepresented minority or a first time in a college student or a transfer student? I wanted to see if there was an impact. And so I kind of had that bias going in that internships are probably important. And so I for sure wanted to know if that was true. And then I also wanted to see if it had any impact on FIDIAC students or transfer or URM students as well. So as I kind of explored the data, I thought I might see different results as far as career outcome goes between FIDIAC students and URM students and transfer students, but really like the career outcomes were almost identical. Same thing with like the percentage of each of these student types that had internships. And so I kind of kept thinking that something might come out of it. And another one of the data points that we gather is how many internships a student had. And like there are a couple of students that had like 12 internships. I'm not even sure how it's possible. And like as you can expect, like typically the more internships a student has, um, the increase or the higher percentage chance that they're going to have a positive career outcome. And so like that pretty much bore out. And as far as with URM students, which I continue to explore, and so honestly, I'd never explored this relationship between that student type. And so as I was looking, like it's like really clear, like they have one internship, but they have a pretty good chance of being employed or continuing education. Two, about the same, and then three, like pops way up there. A little fuzziness in four. You wonder about those students that had those four and like near perfect or actually perfect career outcomes for those at five. And then there's like I think the The total amount of students with our graduates with these internships kind of made this data a little bit messy when it got to 6 and 7, and same thing with 8, 9, 10. There was just fewer when there's looking at a particular student type. And then just looking at general um, for all all graduates and internships. So again, it kind of went up, 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 and then something weird happens at 7, where suddenly only 78% instead of the 87% um, had a career outcome. And again, like I said, there are some with 10, 11, 12, and it kind of peters out once you get up that high. Another thing I was kind of interested in was like the relationship between having an internship in the college or school that you belong to. And so part of the issue is like I gather all this data at or most of the data that I gather is at the commencement fairs, but we also do outreach throughout the year after they graduate. And but school nursing students are like historically hard to get a hold of after graduation. Um, and for whatever reason, I know that they complete clinicals. I know they're at Corewell. They never add that they did complete these things or had those particular types of classes while they were students, and so their experiential learning number is always lower than it probably should be, and they are the big outlier here. With if you don't have an internship, there's a 20% greater chance that you will have a career outcome, like which logically doesn't really make that much sense. Um, but as you can see with with like the College of Arts and Sciences, like their career outcome is a little bit lower than average, 80% over, I think this is 5 years of data. And it goes down way down to 70% career outcome without internships. And same thing with like the big schools were are the not bigger schools, but engineering and computer science and business, where, internships are important in getting hired. You can see that impact. We're talking about a 17% difference in career outcomes, and with school of business, we're talking, 2%. But I mean, 2% is 2%, and so I mean, you can see that impact, and but you can see how high the career outcomes of these two um, uh, our schools are. Um, Kind of continuing to explore, did some correlation matrices, and again, internship is pops out here. Now, when it came to modeling, um, I ended up using the XGBoost, and pardon me for pronunciation here. But I had a hard time because the sample size, which is a good thing for students, is that the sample size of non-career outcomes is really low, and so getting anything to predict those zeros in my data was hard. And so like I ended up using XGBoost modeling, and this was about as good as I got it. I mean, the accuracy ended up being pretty good at 89.89. Um, and and so to like clarify the data, I also did some SHAP feature importance analysis, and then like not very surprising, internship, and this also helped kind of explain what the XGBoost modeling was doing. Internships up right at the top. The more internships you have, as we kind of saw in the data before, at the higher the correlation to positive career outcomes is clear. And then same thing with transfer students and those that go to school of business. And then like a lot of these are kind of dependent on other features in the data set. And so again, like even in the SHAP summary plot and the SHAP dependency plots, like we can kind of see that correlation of again, since School of Engineering, they have that 93% career outcome, like we get lots of positives. And again, internship is way up high up here. Transfer students again, kind of matching that same output. So overall, I mean, like this was a very interesting project. Like I still like very rough as it goes with modeling, and I tried a bunch of different models out, and like this is where I ended up. I'm sure there probably would probably have been a better way of you know, maybe there would have been a better model, but you know, that was a really fun project, and like I want to explore more about. Well, I want to. I'm looking forward to explaining that real connection between internships and career outcomes, which is a part of President Nora's initiative, is this OU pledge, where you know every student is going to have a chance to have hands-on experience, and like this is the reason why, because like for most students, like this is the difference between getting a positive career outcome and not. And I wish I would have done these when I was an undergrad. I wish I would have had an internship as an English student, um, and or when I got my master's degree in literature. Also would have been cool to have internships to get out there in the world, and all of that got me to where I am today as a systems and data analyst after teaching English for 12 years. But I hope you enjoyed my report. It was a great class. I feel like I learned a lot of stuff, and still know that I have a lot of work to do. Thanks a lot.